Have you ever stepped into a gathering, maybe a family dinner, a club meeting, or even a casual coffee with old friends, and sensed the air had changed? Your words hang in the space, but conversations roll on without pausing for you. A joke that once sparked chuckles now fizzles out unnoticed. Decisions are made, plans solidify, all while your input seems optional at best. Eyes dart away mid-sentence, as if pulled by some invisible force. It's that nagging feeling of being sidelined, without a single word spoken against you. If you're nodding along, thinking back to those moments in your own life, you're not alone. Social power doesn't collapse loudly. It quietly reallocates, shifting the dynamics right under your nose. Today, we're unpacking the silent signs that signal this loss, why it creeps in, and how to reclaim it with grace. Because after years of building connections, you deserve to hold your ground. Let's get clear on what social power really means. It's not about flashing wealth or chasing popularity contests. Those might buy you a seat at the table, but true power is influence, over attention, over decisions, over the emotional tone of a room. It's that subtle force where your presence alone alters the vibe. People lean in, wait for your take, or adjust their energy to match yours. Humans are wired for this. We subconsciously assess rank in every interaction, like an ancient survival mechanism updating in real time. Research into group dynamics shows we constantly recalibrate based on cues. Who commands the flow, who defers. If you've navigated careers, raised families, or led in your community, you've felt this power at its peak. But when it slips, the world feels a little off kilter, and recognizing it early can make all the difference. One of the earliest signs is when people stop waiting for you. Conversations hum along without your input, as if your voice is just background noise. Plans barrel forward, whether it's scheduling the next outing or deciding on a group purchase. And no one circles back to check your thoughts. Your delay, once a reason for everyone to pause, no longer slows the momentum. They proceed as if you're optional. This is a key power metric. Influential people control the pacing. They set the rhythm, and others sync up. Think about those times in your prime when your arrival hushed the chatter or your opinion halted debates. Losing that wait time reveals a dip in your perceived weight. It's subtle, but it stings when you notice how the group's pulse no longer beats to your drum. Interruptions ramp up next, and they're a glaring red flag. You start a sentence, only to be cut off mid-thought, with someone else overriding casually, as if your words were mere placeholders. No apologies follow, and worse, no one jumps in to defend your point or let you finish. In social dominance, interruptions are like quiet hierarchy tests, probes to see if you'll assert or yield. High-power folks rarely get interrupted because others sense the boundary, but when it happens repeatedly, it's a sign your shield has thinned. For those of us with decades of experience, this can feel especially frustrating. We've earned our say, yet suddenly, it's treated as interruptible. Pay attention here. It's not rudeness, it's a recalibration of respect. Then comes the probing of your emotional reactions, a sneaky escalation. Subtle teasing amps up, turning into jokes at your expense that hit a bit too close. People watch closely, gauging how you'll respond. Do you brush it off, snap back, or shrink? This behavioral insight cuts deep. Power invites respect, while perceived weakness invites testing. It's like animals in a pack sniffing out vulnerability. If you've always been the steady one, the rock others leaned on, this shift can catch you off guard, but it's universal. Even in long-standing circles like neighborhood groups or extended family, folks unconsciously test boundaries to affirm the pecking order. Recognizing this isn't about paranoia, it's about understanding the game that's always playing beneath the surface. Another telltale sign is when you find yourself explaining more than ever. You over-justify decisions, clarifying intentions over and over, or seeking reassurance in conversations that once flowed effortlessly. It's a compensatory behavior triggered by power loss, where you feel compelled to fill the silence with logic or defense. Psychologically, this stems from an instinct to regain footing, but it often backfires, making you seem less assured. Remember those days when your word was enough? No footnotes needed? As we age with wisdom piled high, it's tempting to elaborate, but restraint holds more sway. This habit signals to others that your stance isn't rock solid, inviting further doubt. Watch too for when others start shining brighter in your presence, a clear indicator of power transfer. Suddenly, someone else's voice carries more weight, attention pivots to them, their jokes land harder, their suggestions spark action. You find yourself adapting to their tone, laughing along or deferring subtly. This is the social hierarchy in motion. Power rarely vanishes into thin air. It transfers to a new dominant figure. Maybe it's a younger colleague rising, a friend gaining confidence, or a family member stepping up. In your later years, after mentoring and guiding for so long, this can feel like a quiet demotion. But it's not personal. It's the natural ebb and flow of group dynamics, where energy seeks the strongest pull. All these lead to the invisible shift, an energy reversal where you lean in more than others do. You laugh first at their quips, respond quicker to their cues, or fill pauses with your own chatter. Micro-signals like these reveal leverage. Who reacts first often holds less of it. It's the person chasing the vibe rather than setting it. Think of it as a dance, where you've switched from leading to following. For mature audiences who've mastered life's rhythms, this reversal can be disorienting, like losing the conductor's baton in an orchestra you once directed. These small concessions add up, flipping the power script without a word. So why does this happen? The real cause boils down to a few core erosions. Familiarity breeds complacency, reducing your mystique. When people know you too well, the aura dims. Over-availability lowers leverage. Always being there makes you predictable, like a constant fixture rather than a valued presence. Emotional inconsistency weakens perceived stability, turning minor reactions into chinks in your armor. And losing scarcity equals losing weight. Power thrives in controlled unpredictability, that sense of not always knowing what you'll do next. In essence, it's small behavioral drifts that compound over time, especially in long-term relationships where patterns solidify. If you've built a life of reliability, these shifts might sneak in unnoticed until they're entrenched. The turning point arrives when you notice it, that internal click of realization. It's the subtle social demotion hitting home. The room's energy no longer bends to you. Conversations bypass your wisdom, and you feel that uncomfortable awareness of being repositioned. It's not a thunderclap, but a quiet dawn, often in a mundane moment like an overlooked suggestion or a dismissed story. This emotional anchoring is key. It stirs a mix of frustration and resolve. For those of us with more seasons behind us, this awareness can be poignant, reflecting on how roles evolve. But it's also empowering. Spotting it means you're attuned, ready to pivot. Reclaiming power doesn't require forcing it. That's a young person's game. Instead, reduce unnecessary talking. Let your words carry weight by being selective. Slow your responses. Don't rush to fill voids or react instantly, creating space that draws others in. Stop correcting every perception or justifying at length. Trust your presence to stand alone. And embrace silence. Let it stretch, building tension that underscores your steadiness. Power regenerates through stillness, not confrontation. It's about rediscovering that inner calm you've honed over years, applying it deliberately in interactions. Whether in social clubs, family ties, or community roles, these tweaks restore balance without drama. In the end, power doesn't disappear overnight. It erodes through small behavioral concessions, those tiny yields that add up to a big shift. But here's the reframe. Recognizing these signs isn't defeat. It's your cue to recalibrate. You've navigated life's twists with wisdom and grit. Now channel that into quiet command. The room can feel different again, but this time on your terms. Social power is fluid, and with awareness, it's yours to steer back. This structure clicks because of its high relatability. Those everyday scenarios hit home for anyone who's felt the subtle slide. It frames things psychologically without overwhelming, breaking down behaviors in a micro-analysis that's insightful, yet accessible. The logical progression builds from signs to causes to solutions, keeping you engaged like a diagnostic tool for your own life. And it's solution-oriented, empowering without a hint of insecurity, which holds attention through to the end. For older folks reflecting on decades of connections, it feels like a trusted conversation, reminding you that power isn't lost forever, it's just waiting for your steady hand to reclaim it.